You spend hours, sometimes dozens of hours, building a relationship with your romantic interest in an RPG. You're fully invested. And then the game just gives you a 50-second cutscene with lines of quote-unquote romantic dialogue that feels completely contrived. And that's the climax of this romance. That's what you were so invested in. You can't help but feel disappointed because honestly, it should be better. Today I want to talk about 3 things I want to see from RPG romance options moving forwards, and 2 things I genuinely want them to completely leave behind. Let's get into it. Number 1, the first thing that I want is more small interactions. One of the things that Dragon Age the Veilguard did well was loading the romance experience with smaller, more frequent check-ins and interactions. It makes a huge difference. It's honestly the difference between a relationship that feels like it's slowly developing and one that only exists during major cutscenes. The little moments of connection absolutely add up. They build closeness subtly, and I definitely want more of that going forwards. Number 2, next thing that I want is romance that is connected to the narrative. Small interactions are great, but they aren't nearly enough if your romantic interest is rarely acknowledged by the main story. What I want, and what Baldur's Gate 3 completely nailed, is romance options who are closely connected to the main narrative. Characters like Shadowheart who have their own storylines that is woven into the main plot doubles your investment in everything. You care about the story and the character. It also creates real stakes, hard choices that you have to make between your partner and the greater good, moments where you genuinely feel the weight of your relationship and the decision that you're making. That's the kind of thing that can make an RPG romance memorable instead of just basically an optional side quest. The third thing that I want is challenge. Alright, this might be a little bit unpopular, but please just hear me out. I don't think that romance in RPGs should always be easy and attainable no matter what. I think it should cost you something. I think you should have to work for it. Because when there's no challenge, you get characters like Cora from Mass Effect Andromeda, where genuine complicated conflicts get completely buried, and it makes the relationship feel hollow and totally unrealistic as a result. Everyone loses here. We want the relationship to actually make sense, for there to be compatibility that's tested, and that your choices in-game matter to the person you're trying to get close to. Baldur's Gate 3 handles this really well. Your companions approve or disapprove of your actions and respond to them, which can even lead them to reject you. That's how it should work. In RPGs, you don't exist in a vacuum, and your choices have consequences. That's kind of a key part of all of it. Your romantic interest shouldn't be any different. Now let's talk briefly about 2 things that I want RPG romances to stop doing. And the first one is DLC only romance options. I'm not buying DLC to be able to romance a character. It's a pretty transparent way to monetize something that players are already emotionally invested in, and it feels exploitative. If a character is worth romancing, they belong in the base game as an option for all players. Case closed. At number 5, half-assed romance options. If you're going to include romance in your game, then actually include it, all of it. Extra dialogue, the cutscenes, meaningful interactions, everything that it takes to make it a meaningful and well-done romance. When devs do it halfway, it doesn't just disappoint, it actively undermines our stories in these games. The truth is that the better games get at handling romances, doing them in meaningful, complicated, thoughtful ways, the more weak attempts are going to stand out. There's no hiding half-hearted romance systems anymore. Either dive in and do it as well as you can, or don't include them at all. That's my opinion. So those are my 3 wants and 2 please stops for RPG romances. I'm curious to know what you think. Is there a romance system you feel like absolutely nailed it? Or on the flip side, one that you feel completely dropped the ball? Let me know in the comments. If you like more content like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.